Hi, good morning, everyone. Uh, got a lot of stuff on my mind this morning. As you can probably tell behind me, I am in the manufacturing facility this morning. Going to be doing a little bit of laser engraving. Uh, this is not a tutorial. It's just basically going to be going on in the background as I talk here. There's stuff on my mind. This is kind of my outlet. There's not a lot of people that I talk to daily, just due to the nature of my lifestyle and my job. If you don't know, I'm a school bus driver and a janitor at the local high school. So I'm alone a lot, and I'm okay with that. Just once in a while, I do have to talk. And since I'm talking to myself anyway, I might as well put it out there. Share my information. Maybe somebody else can find it useful or entertaining or just, I don't know. I hope that it's more useful. Anyway, it's enough of that. It's going to be another nice day out. I haven't checked the temperature, but it's like springtime. Like I said, I'm in the shop here. Oh, and that coffee's still hot. Anyway, some of the things I want to talk about today. Let me see. It's 60 degrees in the shop right now, so it's not too bad. Sun's shining. Of course, the wind's blowing a little bit. But anyway, to what I want to talk about. I want to talk about science to start with here. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not. But there's a lot of talk, and it started back during the the thing we can't talk about on YouTube that lasted for 2 or 3 years, and we're finding out that the government did a lot of things wrong, and a lot of people were forced into taking a poke in the arm that they didn't want or didn't need, and doesn't work. But anyway, I don't really want to talk about that specific thing. I want to talk science in general. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't even have a college degree. Okay. I always thought I might go to college, but I never figured out what I wanted to do. And I looked into different stuff. At one time I looked into it would have been a certificate and not a degree for installing solar panels and stuff. They would at university. Well, I'll say at Pitt State University. And that's all I wanted to do. I can communicate fairly well, But in order to get that certificate, you had to take full college courses. English lit, just stuff that didn't apply. So I was like, no, I'm not spending money on stuff I don't need and probably won't ever use. I mean, I like literature. I read a lot. I don't read as much as I used to, but because I do things now. So anyway, I've always been under the understanding, and trust me, I never did real good in science, But anyway, I was always under the understanding that science wasn't exactly settled. And, you know, like I started saying back during the, maybe I can say this, the pandemic days, it was all about trust the science. Trust the science. And that's what I want to explore, trust the science. Because, like I said, as I've gotten older and looked at things and read things and gave myself a better education than what I got from my high school diploma, I come to believe that science, you're supposed to question science all the time. There's always new information coming out. There's, you know, we're finding new things, and that science isn't exactly settled. And here's some examples of science that turned out to be bad. Asbestos. I'm sure you'll, if you're my age especially, you know and have heard about all the problems with asbestos. And if you don't know what asbestos is, it's I don't know exactly what it is, but it was used to make fire retardant things. It was used for insulation, used for a lot of things, widely used because science said it was great, and it was great for fire. It did what they wanted it to do, but then they found out that it caused cancer. So, you know, and science, there's the good and the bad right there, or the bad and the good. They didn't follow through with their science. What's the laws of unintended consequences here? DDT, invented by science. Okay? And I'm open to correction if I'm wrong on this one. DDT, and I'm not sure, I should have done research before I started running my mouth, I know. But DDT, either a pesticide or an herbicide. I think I'm leaning to pesticide. Used widely in the United States because it worked. It killed things. Well, then we find out that, yes, it does kill things. It kills things we don't want killed. One of the things was it was softening the shells on eagle eggs so they didn't, the embryos in there did not survive. You know, it made them soft, and the bacteria and stuff got in there and killed the embryo. Again, science. You know, we started using something we didn't know what was the unintended consequences. And cigarettes. Well, cigarettes were invented kind of in a science manner. But anyway, science figured out how to make those cigarettes more addictive. That was science. So I think with those examples alone, I've made the case that you don't want to trust science absolutely. And a lot of people, there's some friends of mine on Facebook, you know, the things they believe in, and they want to believe, and that's the deal. They want to believe that science is going to save us all, and it may, but it may also kill us all. You know, science has killed a lot of people, intentionally and unintentionally. You know, the experiments that the Nazis did on people, that was science. Wasn't very nice science, but it was science nonetheless. So for someone to tell me that I have to trust science blindly, no, it's not going to happen. And it should not happen. No one should be trusting just Because, oh, well, the government scientists say the government shouldn't be trusted either. I mean, our founding fathers told us that. So stop with the trust of science. Or at least if you feel the need to trust the science, verify the science. You know, don't just look for what corroborates what you believe. Find the stuff that goes against it. And you know, I have been not, well, even on the, yeah, I've been guilty of this. You know, oh, well, you know, the government, yeah, they're not going to do anything. They're elected by us. They're not going to do anything to hurt us. They will. And even though, you know, since I'm on the government, even though I think we chose the best choice from the choices we had in the last presidential election, I don't want to just turn him loose, just unfettered either. There's some things that I'm not caring for. One of these is there's two things that I've got big problems with right now. One is him wanting the government involved in the development of AI, a government-controlled AI program. And the AI scares the hell out of me. And that is science too. There is such a potential for things to go bad. But we're going ahead with it. That's one of the things I don't like is, you know, and he's not a construction guy per se. You know, he's not worked construction, but out there on the job and, you know, welding and whatever. But he's a guy that likes to get things done as soon as possible. You know, if you're building a building, you want it done as soon as possible so that you can sell it or get renters in there or leasees, whatever. And while I think we need a person like that in the White House, it has its drawbacks. Life is a balance. I don't care what you're looking at. Everything's got to be balanced. And as I've stated before, no one can know everything. No one. So they're going to have to depend on people. And with this AI thing, I'm not sure that he's trusting the people that have the best interest of everyone. So I'm going to have to take a pause here and I'll be back so you know what this awkward pause is about. Okay, I had to clear up some memory there so we could continue this conversation or my rant. But anyway, that's probably enough about the president. Just keep that in mind. Well, it's not enough. I don't like his idea of the government taking over 50% of TikTok. If it truly is a national security issue, just ban it. The government doesn't need to own half of it. I don't like the idea of the government owning any part of any business. I'm a small government guy. The less government's involved in my life, the better I like it. I think we've got way too much overreach now. So, yeah, if we can't find a way to make TikTok a non-security issue, ban it. I don't care. There's other places people can get information. And we need to, you know, if that's what we need to do, that's what we need to do. I don't care how popular it is. But if it's not an issue, the government needs to stay the hell out of it. And there's some other things developing now that I'm not going into that I disagree with. I'm not sure where I stand yet, and that's why I'm going to leave it. But blind trust, whether it's in science or government, even religion, you have to have faith and you have to believe in something. But just having blind faith or blind trust, and you know, your preacher stands up there at the pulpit and tells you something, go to your Bible and look it up and find out if that's really what it is, and then think about it a little bit. And I think that's what's supposed to be done with everything in our lives. We're not supposed to take anything at face value. There's some things you can take that risk on. I mean, you know, and you decide that for yourself. Okay, now then we're going to move on to the next thing that I have an issue with this morning. Or no, this one isn't so much an issue as a suggestion. And I made a video about it the other day and it didn't go over very well. And I just wonder if it's because it was dark. You couldn't see anything. Occasionally you could see a hint of my face. So anyway, I'm going to try this again in this video with good light. And I have a suggestion. Now, I hope that people will share this. I don't care if I get credit for it or not. It'd be kind of cool if I did. But if I don't, I don't. We see, and what's her name? Selena Gomez is one, and I've seen others. Danny Trejo likes to talk about this occasionally. The problem with the border. Now, if these people, wealthy people, who have resources, who have friends who have resources, really care, and they really want these people to come to the United States to have a better life, which I'm okay with if they do it legal, why aren't they going to Mexico, say, wherever we have a port of entry, buying some land, put up a building, and start, let's call it a school, to teach these people how to do this legally. You could hire lawyers to work there. You know, it's going to have to be on the Mexico side because they're not legal immigrants yet. But get them started with the process, how to do it, you know. I have a Facebook friend who probably won't ever watch this video, but anyway, that I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, I guess we're going to have to put that aside. But here's my point. If you think those people deserve to be here, and you want them to be here, why aren't you helping them to be here legally so they don't have to worry about getting deported? Why is it so important that they come in illegally? I mean, can somebody answer me that? And why hasn't somebody, I mean, besides some old fat pig farmer in Missouri, come up with this idea of starting a way to educate these people so they can come here legally? And I don't want to hear about it. They don't have the money, because I know that blanket statements are a problem. I tend to use blanket statements, and I don't like it. I'm trying to stop that. But I keep hearing that these people are paying these coyotes and the cartels tens of thousands of dollars to get here. But yet they can't come up with the money to try to do it legally. Of course, the problem there is, I'm sure it comes back to education. Education's the key everywhere. They don't know how to do it legally. They don't know what to do. But why? I mean, really, set up a school. It's going to help those people. It's going to provide jobs for people. I mean, you're going to need janitors, you're going to need teachers, you're going to need lawyers. Lawyers got to be involved in everything. But, and it would have these people coming here legally, and there's no threat of being kicked out. Teach them the green card process first, and then get them started on citizenship. You know, you teach them English. I mean, why not? Can somebody answer me that? That's what I want to know. Why has no one done this? Is it, I don't know. Is it so dangerous that because then the cartels are going to lose money? I don't know. But then you can hire security. I don't know. I just think it's a good idea, and I think somebody should be looking into it. But crying on social media does no good. I see all these people. No matter what the issue is, no matter which side of the aisle it is, they get on social media and they complain. And that's all they do. No matter what the issue is. Nobody calls their congressman, their senator. Nobody writes a letter, sends an email. You know. They will listen to you. I have stated this statistic over and over and over. And it's probably more true today than it was 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago when I first heard it. As I've mentioned this before on this channel, I was involved with a motorcyclist rights organization. And we dealt with the state of Missouri, especially the lawmaking body. I mean, we had people going to governor's balls by invitation. We had our own lobbyist that only worked for us. And we went to the state capitol and talked to them about motorcycle issues. And we were told by one of these politicians that the way they look at this is, for every letter they get, they figure there's 100 more people. Let that sink in. One person. So if you write a letter to or an email, they're the same thing pretty much, to your state senator. And that's where most of this stuff needs to be done at the state level. But you as an individual, writing an email or a letter or a phone call, you represent 100 other people. Let that sink in, and then do the math, how that multiplies. Our organization has shut this Freedom of Road Riders is the name of the organization, and they only deal with motorcycle issues. That's it. And this is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but they got the Missouri state helmet law modified so that if you meet certain qualifications, you can ride your motorcycle without a helmet. I don't care how you feel about that. It doesn't say you have to ride without a helmet. It just gives you the option. And I don't care what your point of view is on that. That's what it should be about. If you feel safer wearing one, wear it. But if you don't, you know. Anyway, it's enough about that. My point is, they're not looking at your Facebook account or your TikTok account or whatever else. They're not looking at it. Now, if you go to theirs and post something, then it might have some effect. But just generally making a statement, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know. I guess I ought to quit. This is about a 30-minute video, and probably nobody left watching about now. But if you have, thank you very much. Think about the things I've said. I mean, honestly, go look it up. There's all kinds of information about asbestos and DDT, and, you know, we know what the Nazis did. You can go look that up, too. So, one, don't blindly trust the science. Don't blindly trust the government. The government needs to stay out of business. We need a lot less government, not more. A lot less. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Trump and Musk slimming down the government. So, think about these things. And if you know somebody that needs to hear my point of view on this school for citizenship, pass this information along. Like I said, I've never heard anybody else talk about it, and I really don't think I'm that smart to be the only guy that ever thought about this. So, but anyway, I thank you for watching this long. I'm going to get off of here. I got some stuff I want to get done in here. And let's look out for each other. Let's help each other when we can. And don't forget to pray.